Okay, let's dive into this. For the past couple of years, it feels like all anyone can talk about is artificial intelligence. But what if the real revolution, the thing that's truly changing everything, isn't what we think it is? It's not really about making machines smarter than people. It's actually about something way more fundamental. Something about the very limits of how we think and how we build things.
So let's just throw this out there. What if AI's biggest superpower isn't intelligence? What if we've been looking at this whole thing completely backwards? The real story here is about a huge structural advantage that AI has over our brains. It's an advantage that helps it solve a problem that we as humans are just really, really bad at, handling massive complexity.
I love this quote because it just nails the problem perfectly. Think about it. When you're building something huge and complicated, like a giant software program, there's just no way for one person to hold the entire grand design, the whole cathedral in their head, while also focusing on laying one tiny little brick correctly. You can either see the big picture, the forest, or you can see the tiny detail, the trees. But seeing both at the same time with perfect clarity, our brains just aren't built for that.
And this leads to something engineers call the entropy problem. And let's be clear, this isn't about bad engineers or people being lazy. It's a system problem. You have smart people making what seem like totally logical, small decisions, but because nobody, and I mean nobody, has the full picture, the whole system just slowly starts to decay. It rots from the inside out. The real villain here is lost context. That's what causes this slow-motion collapse in our digital world.
And believe me, this isn't just some abstract theory. This stuff happens every single day. So, maybe an engineer grabs a reusable component. Super handy, right? But they don't realize that using it 100 times means there are now 100 hidden listeners firing off every single time someone clicks. The whole site grinds to a halt. Or, even worse, they make one tiny change to a function that silently breaks a super important caching system. Poof. Each little decision made perfect sense at the time, but when you add them all up, you get a total mess that nobody ever saw coming.
So, why? Why does this keep happening? Well, it all comes down to this number, 4 to 7. That's it. That's about how many chunks of information you and I can hold in our working memory at any given time. And this isn't something you can fix with more training or another cup of coffee. It's a hardwired limit in our cognitive hardware. It's a bottleneck that the insane complexity of the modern world is just constantly slamming up against.
And this is where the game completely changes. This is AI's real superpower. Again, it's not about being smarter in the way we think about it. It's about having a totally different operating system. While we're sitting here trying to juggle, maybe 5 or 6 ideas at once, an AI can have over 1 million pieces of information, tokens, in its working memory. It can see the entire cathedral and every single brick, all at the same time. It has perfect recall. It never gets tired. It just doesn't have our built-in limitations.
Okay, so what does it cost to build this new kind of cognitive engine for the world? Well, get a load of this number, $125 billion. That's not a typo. That's how much Amazon is spending on capital expenditure in a single year just to build the physical infrastructure needed for this new AI-powered world.
And look, you just don't spend that kind of money without it having some serious consequences. This kind of power is anything but free. It comes with a truly staggering price tag in the real world, and it's forcing some of the biggest, most powerful companies on the planet to make some absolutely brutal choices.
Just take a look at what I'm calling the Amazon paradox. On paper, the company's absolutely crushing it. Revenue's up, net income is way up, the stock price is soaring, everything looks fantastic. And yet, at the very same time, they carried out the biggest corporate layoffs they have ever done. 30,000 people. How on earth does that make any sense? Well, the answer is hiding right here, in the numbers. That capital expenditure, that massive spending on AI infrastructure we talked about, it has absolutely exploded. And it's caused their free cash flow, the actual cash they have left over to run the business, to nosedive into the negative. They are making such a massive bet on the future of AI that they are literally going cash negative today to pay for it.
So here's the bottom line. Those layoffs? It's all about reallocating capital. The $6 billion or so that they're saving on those salaries isn't just going into a savings account. Nope. It's being converted, dollar for dollar, directly into more computer power. They are literally turning human headcount into silicon.
And this quote just puts it all in a perspective perfectly. It's so important to understand this. Right now, for a lot of people, you're not really being replaced by an AI that can do your job.
You're being replaced by your company's overwhelming need to buy more GPUs. The cost of building this future is so high that they have to cut costs somewhere else just to afford the hardware.
This whole situation is creating a brand new economic model. Let's call it the bottleneck economy. Here's how it works. When something that used to be scarce, like generating ideas or analyzing data, suddenly becomes super cheap and abundant because of AI, the value doesn't just vanish. It's like water. It just flows somewhere else. It finds the new scarce thing and pools there, making that thing incredibly valuable.
So, what are these new bottlenecks? What's suddenly scarce? Well, it's not just about having the best AI anymore. It's about the physical stuff, the actual land, the power grids, the data centers. It's about trust. How can you prove something is real when anything can be faked? It's about integration, the messy, difficult work of actually plugging these AIs into a real company. And maybe most importantly, it's about coordination, the purely human skill of getting a team to actually agree on a plan and get it done.
And the amount of money tied up in these new bottlenecks, it's just astronomical. Look at this number, $4.5 trillion. That's trillion with a T. That's how much potential productivity is just sitting there, locked away in the US economy. And the only way to unlock it is for companies to solve that integration bottleneck, to actually figure out how to weave AI into the fabric of their businesses.
Okay, so this isn't just some big abstract story about tech companies and the economy. This shift has a direct impact on you, on me, on all of us. Because as AI rewrites the old rules about what's valuable, a completely new rulebook for our own careers is being written at the same time.
So these are your new personal bottlenecks. Or to put it another way, these are your new superpowers. Think about it. When AI can generate 1 million ideas in a second, what becomes valuable? Your taste, your judgment. When AI can solve any problem you feed it, what's the real skill? Finding the right problem to solve in the first place. Knowing the unwritten rules of your company, actually being able to execute a plan and get things done, and just being comfortable making decisions when everything is uncertain. Those are the things that AI can't do. That's your edge.
So this all comes down to a really important question you've got to ask yourself. When you look at your own work, your career, your skills, what is your bottleneck? What's the one thing that's holding you back the most? The one constraint that if you could just break through it would unlock a huge amount of value. Because it's not just about what skills you have anymore. It's about what scarcities you can solve for other people.
And that really leaves us with this one final critical thought. We are walking into a future where raw intelligence is cheap. It's becoming a commodity, like electricity or water. So the real challenge, and honestly the real opportunity, is for you to figure out what it is that you bring to the table that is still rare, that is still scarce. In a world drowning in answers, your real value is going to come from your unique human scarcity. So, what's yours?